Jacob Cass 2024. We're going to talk about WWE wrestling. We're going to talk about what happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. We will talk about NXT and we will talk about AEW. I just want to say, make sure you guys enjoy the video. It'll be like an hour long. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. My video is sponsored by my favorite podcaster like JD from New York, Joe Cronin, Fightful, Just Alec, and the other favorite podcaster that I know of. We will go through this whole show. It was a decent show, not perfect, but it was a decent show with some very good matches. There's a few things that are being booked for the chamber, and possibly a few matches that could be booked for WrestleMania. We just don't know. Um, the way how they booked the show, I mean, clearly the build have been lackluster. It's been very rough. I think WWE just waiting to get the E Elimination Chamber out of the way. They want the Chamber pay-per-view out the way. Cause once the Chamber's over, then we got WrestleMania. We got the whole month, and then mid of April. So hopefully we find out what they're playing for WrestleMania. Hopefully. Now, like I said, my video is sponsored by my favorite podcasters here. I'm gonna show you guys their reviews, and then we'll talk about Monday Night Raw. This is what we got Monday Night Raw. And then we'll talk about AEW and then NXT. And then we'll talk about the news and rumors. Now this is no DQ. Now the main event was actually great. We had a fantastic main event with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. The winner, the match will decide who was the last entry in the men's elimination chamber. Both competitors have a long history. Seth obviously having the upper hands in recent encounters. The outcome could shape the path to WrestleMania, as the winner will join John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Damian Priest. We also had the final qualifying match for the Women's Elimination Chamber with Roxanne Perez, who made her debut tonight, will take on Raquel Rodriguez. That was a very good match. Roxanne Perez is on the main roster, following a record-breaking Royal Rumble performance lasting more than an hour. AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. Following the heated interruption last week, Styles looked to teach Dominic a lesson. The match promised to be a showcase of experience versus a youthful ignorant, and Styles aiming to desert his dominance on Raw. Also, we had Pete Dunne, and we had what's his name? Pete Dunne and Penta in a very good match. Here's Sean Watts out from Fightful. And this is what we got on the show tonight. Now let me show you. Here's Joe Cronin. David also says, taking shout out. Your thoughts and wishes her way tonight for the foreseeable future. Everybody in the chat right now, we got 1,800 of you. I want to see 1,800 prayer emojis for my girl OTS Tribal Queen, and we wish her nothing but the best. And hopefully her father makes it through that emergency surgery and all is well coming out of that situation. Appreciate you, David. Thoughts and prayers to OTS Tribal Queen. And we got another one here, man. Oh, my goodness. You guys are crazy, man. Best in the world, Matt, with a $100 super chat. Unlike a certain Jacksonville promotion, JD and OTS always delivers.
and is as advertised. Prayers and thoughts to OTS Tribal Queen as well. Ones in the chat and prayer emojis in the chat. Best in the world, Matt. Thank you, brother. And thank you guys for being here on this Monday night, wherever you may be. Monday Night Raw. Listen, man, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm only being honest with you. I'm always honest. Every step of the way, I'm always honest, man. I may be a little different to people's tastes, but I've always been myself and I've always been honest. Another week, and I'm not really feeling WrestleMania season.
Me neither.
Keep saying, we said this on Tuesday. We said this last week. WrestleMania is starting a little later than normal.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday, 3rd week of April. Usually it takes place the 1st week of April. I do think WWE, clearly it's the road to WrestleMania. They did hype up that both Raw on Netflix on January 6th and the Royal Rumble would be the official kickoff to the road to WrestleMania. In some sense, it has. I thought the Royal Rumble was very good. I thought we got exactly what we needed out of the Royal Rumble.
Enough of damn commercials.
I feel once again that everything is kind of waiting until we get to the next stop, which is the Elimination Chamber. As I discussed this past weekend, I do think that some shenanigans are going to happen at the Elimination Chamber, whether it's in the chamber itself or something that we get on the actual show itself. I do think that we are going to get whatever we are going to get happening at the Elimination Chamber. I think the roadblock that is in the way on the road to WrestleMania will be cleared at the Elimination Chamber. I understand people's patience is wearing thin. I do, because I'm right there with you. You know, it's very difficult to sit here and fake. For some, it's easy. For a lot of these other streamers and creators and journalists, it's easy to fake a reaction or fake excitement. We don't do that here. We will never do that here. When it's exciting, we know. Do you want to know how I know? Because a lot of you would be filling this chat right now more than normal on a Monday night. Right now, it's not exciting. We're not feeling any excitement whatsoever. And I don't know what they're waiting for. It's difficult to really differentiate this WrestleMania build and this WrestleMania season from last year when you don't have The Rock. Everything regarding The Rock made WrestleMania season exciting and unpredictable. We don't have that right now. We don't. I said this on my video on Sunday. We uploaded a video yesterday. The rumor is John Cena, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes in a triple threat match. How are we going to get there? That means one thing, if that is the direction that WWE goes, that John Cena and CM Punk will walk out of the Elimination Chamber co-holders of the WrestleMania main event. But how? Are they going to pin themselves? Are we going to get a double winner inside the chamber? Maybe that's not even the plan at all. Like I said on social media and I said on Sunday, I may be on an island all to myself, but I genuinely think, and I know some people have just moved on past it, I genuinely think that we will I genuinely think appearance at the chamber or on the road to WrestleMania. I do. But WrestleMania right now is riddled with confusion and riddled with uncertainty. Whether that's by design or not, I'm not feeling the excitement.
Yeah, me neither.
We haven't really felt the excitement completely from Cody Rhodes. We haven't felt the excitement from John Cena. We haven't felt the excitement from CM Punk. I mean, his stare down with Cody Rhodes was excellent. His promo with Kevin Owens was excellent. Those two things were very good television in the last several weeks. Outside that, I can't really sit here and tell you guys what has been exciting on the road to WrestleMania.
Nothing had been exciting. Nothing's interesting. Even John Cena had not made it interesting in going into the build of WrestleMania. And John Cena hadn't even shown up that much. John Cena said he could wrestle full time, but he still part time. He hadn't been on TV since the debut of Netflix. And he was in the Rumble and he got eliminated. He was in the press conference after the Rumble and announced he's going to be in the chamber, but he's not even in it. He hasn't even made it exciting. Shouldn't he show up more on TV? I'm more curious what's he going to do at WrestleMania? Who's he going to wrestle? And he has to be on TV more to build up to the match.
We have Elimination Chamber coming up. A lot of these matches were basically predetermined, very predictable. I think everybody kind of realized who was going to be in the chamber and who was not, based on the matches that we got. I'm not feeling it.
Me neither. This is awful.
And that's fine. Here.
Here's Salamander. That was the main event. Rollins punches his ticket to the chamber. He qualifies over Finn Balor. He beats Finn Balor how many times in his career?
Internet, because of course there are some very bizarre, weird circles and corners of the internet and social media. But somehow these tweets ended up on my timeline. I thought it was parody, but no, these people were very upset about the fact that Rhea Ripley actually was taking a week off or 2 weeks off to go on her honeymoon. People are not all there. They're not playing with a full deck of cards, these people. Ridiculous. This is your Raw on Netflix review. It is Monday.
All right, now only missed like a couple of minutes here.
Matches within the chamber. All the pieces will begin to fall into place at that point. It's just a matter of killing time effectively until we get there. And it sucks to feel like you're watching these shows and it feels like they're killing time. But yeah, you got to remember there's a bunch of names that we're just not getting on television every single week. You know, we're not getting people like John Cena. We're not getting people like CM Punk even every week. We're not getting Roman Reigns on the show. Hopefully that will begin to change coming out of the Elimination Chamber.
Exactly. It's actually heard in the build. What the hell is interesting about this match? I don't even know who's going to win it. They haven't even given us a reason to care about the chamber. Same thing with the woman. I don't even care for the woman chamber. I'm more interested in what the men's chamber is.
But it's hard to get that excited for WrestleMania yet because it doesn't feel like the build has really officially began. Right? They say the Royal Rumble is the start of the road to WrestleMania when realistically, in many ways, the Elimination Chamber is really where the WrestleMania build truly kicks off.
And nothing's important on that show. Besides the 2 chamber matches, we got a nothing tag team match for the woman that they announced. I don't really care about that. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, why are we watching it at the chamber? It shouldn't be at WrestleMania. Unless something happened that continues the feud. We don't know.
In a lot of cases. But we have the final 2 spots filled in the Elimination Chamber matches tonight. The fields are set. And we had an excellent main event between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor to determine the final spot in the men's Elimination Chamber match. Seth Rollins, not really a surprise, picks up the win. And so Seth Rollins will be going to the Elimination Chamber. And the field now looks like this. We have John Cena, who did not even have to qualify. He declared. So John Cena is in the Elimination Chamber. We know that CM Punk is in, Drew McIntyre is in, Seth Rollins is now in, Damian Priest is in, and Logan Paul. And on the women's side, we have Roxanne Perez, or as Lillian Garcia called her tonight, Roseanne Perez, qualified for the chamber against Raquel Rodriguez. So the women's field now looks like this. We have Liv Morgan, we have Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez to round out the field. And so that's it. No more qualifying. Got one more week of TV after this. No more qualifying matches to kill time on these shows. They're going to have to come up with some other way to kill 3 hours on SmackDown for these next 2 weeks. We also had another match, unofficial, made official, for the Elimination Chamber, which will be an unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got dumped on his head a couple of weeks ago. He was back on TV tonight, not medically cleared, but we are going to get some kind of a match between these two at the champ. I mean, you knew they were in Canada. Come on, and you got this is the first WWE PLE at what used to be the Sky Dome since WrestleMania 18. Hulk Hogan and The Rock. They've not had a PLE in that building since. And they're not going to have 70,000 people in there either. They'll have about 30,000. But a big event like this in Canada, and you really thought that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were going to miss the show? Come on now. So we'll talk about that. No Rhea Ripley on the show tonight. No Io Sky on the show as well. Although we did get Io in a pre-tape package to hype up her women's championship match, which is coming up with Rhea the Monday after Elimination Chamber. But Rhea Ripley was not on the show tonight because Rhea Ripley is away on her honeymoon. She got married some time ago, and I guess only now that she and Buddy Matthews get around to finally going on their honeymoon. While you have people online bitching and moaning about the size of a fucking ring in Australia, these two are off on their.
All right.
Holy shit!
All right.
Friends, they've wrestled for championships, they've tossed each other shit, all kinds of stuff.
Introducing Domino's Best Deal Ever. Get any pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online.
In this match, and he's got problems with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Why would he not be in the chamber? He's going to be in there. Balor has nothing to do with it in the chamber. He's got problems within the Judgment Day, and nobody in the Judgment Day is in the chamber. Predictable. Lyra Valkyria, she finally got her number one contender for her Intercontinental Championship, and after weeks of teasing a certain match, did WWE give us that certain match? No, they just completely rerouted plans and went to somebody else. The women's mid-card titles are an embarrassment. Nothing has been done with them, and I'm questioning why we even created them if WWE is acting as if they are basically irrelevant.
Exactly.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Best thing on the show by far was the opening of the show. We'll get into it. Sami Zayn returns after the package pile driver a couple of weeks ago and asked for a match against Kevin Owens after Kevin Owens challenged him on Friday Night SmackDown via a mobile device promo via his rental car. Canada, Toronto, Sky Dome. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match. Will WWE be giving us the unsanctioned match and having one go over the other? Or is this going to be a match that's not really scheduled, that will only continue through the chamber and on through the rest of March and conclude at WrestleMania? Is WWE teasing Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania? Can they do it? Will they do it? Should they do it? I don't know. We'll talk about it. That was basically the gist of Monday Night Raw tonight. We're going to get into the discussion tonight on the
in the ring until he gets the match. Pierce said, look, I can't sanction a match between the two. And he warned Sami that if he had an unsanctioned match, what would happen to him? Kevin Owens, he could do whatever he wants. He could take a steel chair and wrap it around his head. Expect them to top it back. I just don't see it.
I think it could have happened. I think it could have happened if they would have told different stories. I think it could have happened if they would have told Roman Reigns and CM Punk or Roman Reigns and The Rock. If
It's
they would have told
possible.
those stories.
Listen, it's possible. You know, I'm talking purely about the build-up, the couple of months leading into it. It's possible that this pulls a WrestleMania 31, where it's just like, holy crap, this Mania was awesome, so good. And maybe it's like that, where the build-up isn't this incredible thing, but then once the smoke settles from the show, you're like, holy shit, that was better than WrestleMania 40. That's on the table. I'm purely talking about the epicness of the build of WrestleMania 40. Like, we were transcending the mainstream in ways that wrestling never will again. It won't. It can't. It cannot do what it did last year with what The Rock was doing. But it could still be a better show. It could still be a better show.
Also, because let's not forget that they tried to freaking change the rules last time and tried to screw poor Cody Rhodes after he won his Royal Rumble match and tried to screw him out of his match with Roman Reigns. I mean, God, it's crazy. I still can't believe that even was a thing. Chris Ledeck, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, let's get back to Raw. We did got some other things we got to get into. Dakota Kai defeats Ivy Nile. She's the new #1 contender to Lyra Valkyria. One of the comments you had made last week, Santi, was that you felt that Lyra Valkyria was kind of not really being spotlighted so strong as in Women's Intercontinental Champion. I mean, you even kind of forgot she was champion until she displayed the belt in a backstage segment. Dakota Kai versus Lyra. Is this something that's calling your name?
Yes. Just don't make it overstay its welcome. Because I was also very much down for the rematch of Chelsea Green versus Nietzsche. They're now like 3 months deep into that, and I'm. It was like a monkey's paws wish. I was like, I hope they run it back, and then I got it, and then I got it 17,000 more times with endless segments and endless moments between them. When I want Chelsea Green to go do something else, I'm glad that they're doing this. I'm glad that because that match for the IC title was great. It was an awesome match between those two. Who wouldn't want to see this match being run back? Just don't let it overstay as well. Just move on when it's time to move on.
Yeah, the one time she's going to defeat Dakota and then kind of just go from there. Yeah, like I know a lot of people want to see Dakota. A lot of people wanted to see Dakota win the Intercontinental Championship. It just didn't feel like her time yet. It still doesn't feel like the time for her yet. And especially Lyra's barely starting this reign. So I definitely want to see her, win and kind of just move on from there and start to get some brand new opponents. All right, we got Gunther coming out and doing Jey Uso's entrance, being such a savage, telling people they smell God knows what else. And he goes out there and Santi, oh my God, did you catch the moment where he threw the mic to Pat McAfee and accidentally hit him with another region? I was like, dude, you nearly took out Pat McAfee. Poor guy.
He nearly took out his McAfees. It's great. It's funny because like we're back to back.
All right, hold on. I actually want to go back. Hope I didn't miss anything. Was that like an hour long?
The Elimination Chamber for both the men's and the women's. And of course, it is now time for the predictions to begin. Who is facing Rhea Ripley? Who is facing Cody Rhodes? But before we get to that, Santi, this was a pretty interesting Raw. There were quite an interesting way that we ended the show. There were some surprises in the middle, and then there were some things that were kind of like, this could be a little bit better, at least in my opinion. What do you think about the show overall?
I like that it was heavy on wrestling because we're in that like weird, what I call the redheaded stepchild phase of a PLE cycle, where we're like too far away from Elimination Chamber to get too hype, but also too close to it to not talk about the storylines and feuds that are going on, but you don't want to like use all of your best stuff. So we're in that like weird like tween.
Things that I loved here. Like, I can't wait to talk about Roxanne Perez and that really exciting way that she got her victory. But then, on the other hand, I'm going, what the hell are we doing in this whole New Day LWO segment? Like, what is this? So let's go ahead and dive right in. Santi, I actually want to begin with the ending of the show because we kind of had a little bit of a maybe awkward, controversial portion of this match, which was the Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. They were out there working this main event. It was okay. I thought this match was fine. In this matchup, though, there was a moment where Seth Rollins went for the pin, and Finn Balor kicked out after the 3, at least based off of the one time that I saw it. I still haven't yet to see a replay of this.
You're right.
That was a 3 count, Santi. What did you make of that awkwardness that unfolded afterwards? And then, of course, the eventual win for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that was a 3.5 count. Like, good Lord. It wasn't even close. Yeah, it's always just awkward, sitting through those moments because those are the moments that really are like the snap you back into reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Wrestling is scripted, and it really ruins the moment. Obviously, those happen from time to time. It's just interesting.
I think because in the moment, I just remember Damian Priest not kicking out, or like it looked like he was supposed to and then did it. I can't believe it. You're right.
But like honestly, like I don't feel like it took away too much from it. I thought the match was great. I don't know if you looked at the clock. That was a proper 20-plus minute match. Because something that I've noticed from Raws and SmackDown recently, Denise, is that it looks like the main event's going to be 30 minutes long. They do the entrance of the first person of the main event, and then they go to commercial, and then they come back from commercial, and then they hit us with an ad for WWE Shop, and then a backstage segment, and then a promo for next week, and then they hit the entrance of the next guy, and then they go to commercial, then they come back from commercial, and then the match starts, and then you look at the clock, and there's only 10 minutes left of the show. This was a proper bell-to-bell, like 22-minute match, which again just kind of goes to what I was saying, where this is heavy, a show that was heavy on the wrestling and less on the storytelling, which I appreciate because it's a weird time of the month.
And I did, it was after that moment, that whole little mess up thing where it looked like we didn't know what was happening for that bit, and
Preferred the ref to just count 3 there because the you
I know, a split second, Santi, a little bit of a split second, all right?
What is and wonder that Finn Balor will actually win a match on Monday Night Raw. You should know better. It's never going to happen.
It's true. I think that, unfortunately, there's been a lot of unfortunate moments of things that have gone down for poor Finn Balor. Things didn't work out. Winning the Universal title, getting injured right afterwards. Oh, God, I still remember the bit where he freaking got thrown off of the top of the freaking ropes. Oh, that was silliness. The whole bit with the lights flashing where he was doing that weird thing. Oh, man, I hate to think about this. But look, I think we all pretty much expected, hey, given how things are going for the Judgment Day, they all took a loss today. Every single member of the Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez, and then, of course, Finn Balor. So I think that kind of set the tone, too, where people were sort of expecting that. There was an earlier segment in the night, Santi, where I think they jinxed themselves, where Finn Balor was saying, like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a great night for the Judgment Day, and you're going to get your win, and you're going to get your win, and then questioned Raquel whether or not she was going to get her win. That was the moment. That was the moment I knew, okay, you know what? They're going to do a bunch of straight outs for the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Did anyone care about the Judgment Day anymore? Did anyone take them seriously? I think the Judgment Day had to run its course. They've been a fast like 3 years now. We're in 2025. Just think about where we were 3 years ago with the Judgment Day. When we had Edge, we had Rhea and Damian. Now they're out the Judgment Day. I think Finn Balor is the next person to be out the Judgment Day. He needs to be on his own. We need the old Finn Balor back. Him with the Judgment Day not working. It ain't there. I think it's run its course. I think they have enough members, by the way. We still got JD McDonough, JD Memphis. Yeah, but we still got McDonough in the Judgment Day. Carlito's not doing anything for me in the Judgment Day. Dominic, he's only he would live in Raquel.
I'd be down if all 3 of these losses are the catalyst for Dominic to finally convince Finn to bring in this new member. Because in that segment that you're talking about, Dom talks about the fact that they just keep shooting down this idea of a new member, and the segment ends with Finn Balor saying, no new members. With 3 straight losses in a row on the same night, that could be the reason that Finn Balor finally sees the light and allows a new member in. Who's the new member, Denise? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. Obviously, out there in the ether, in the world, we have Aleister Black, who kind of just looks like a Judgment Day dude. Even though that might not be something I would necessarily want, if somebody could make it work right off the rip with it being a new and exciting addition to the Judgment Day, I think it's Aleister Black.
What are the chances of it being Karrion Kross? He lost his whole faction. He's not going anywhere right now. What if that's the place he goes?
So remember when I just said somebody new and exciting? That would be all right. Karrion Kross is on the table, I think, but I think he's the far less sexy option for somebody to be in a faction. And it would honestly feel like I don't know. It would almost feel like the Judgment Day is just taking refugee from a dead faction that didn't work out. I'd rather just allow Karrion Kross to try and tread water on his own, sink or swim, see what he can do. But I don't think another faction is the play for Karrion Kross.
But it feels like he needs all this subsequent help in terms of just trying to get a story or just trying to find a purpose on the show. And so if he were to go to Judgment Day, be like, okay, let's see what they do for Karrion Kross. But what if it fails again? And here's the thing though, right now, the Judgment Day, this is the way that I see it, Tati. The Judgment Day right now has hit their expiration date. They are no longer new. They are no longer interesting. They are no longer making you feel like, okay, the Judgment Day is on TV. I got to sit up from my chair and see what they say. You don't have that feeling anymore. The Dominic Liv Morgan whole romance angle has kind of it's phased out a little bit. They're not even honing in. They're not even diving into that as much anymore, where they're making all of the seductive moments between Liv and Dom. They're not even doing that anymore. And they didn't even do anything with this whole Raquel Carlito kind of flirtation bit. That never went anywhere. Carlito is just kind of there. He isn't really adding anything to the group. So the group has gone stale. If they add Karrion Kross, it's not going to be that magic ingredient, in my opinion, that is going to change things for the Judgment Day. It may change things for Karrion Kross, but not for the Judgment Day. Now, let's say you're right on Aleister Black being that person who comes in. Now, that would be a game changer for the Judgment Day. That would be like, all right, let me sit down and look at this. But here's the thing. If it is Aleister Black, the group has got to change in the sense that I can't see Aleister Black as a comedic character. I see Aleister Black, and maybe it's because, the last couple of years, this is what he's been portrayed at. He's a serious guy. He doesn't seem like a guy that's like, oh, like, let me go play around and laugh and play video games and talk about chicken nuggets. That doesn't seem like who he is. He's a serious guy. So it would have to be a different dynamic for the Judgment Day.
What about a dynamic where it's like the Dark Order when Brody Lee was there? He's very serious, very by the book manners, but everyone else around them could be a bit of a goofball at times. What if we have a dynamic like that with Aleister Black?
I would not hate that. I would like that. I would be okay with that. Okay. I think you can make it work. All right. That's it. You solved the problems here. Because I was looking at this and I was going, John Cena, Seth Rollins, again, star-studded. That seems to be the theme going into this WrestleMania. Star-studded Royal Rumble, star-studded Elimination Chamber. We're looking at this and we're going, all right, what can we possibly get from this? Santi, looking at these people, what are your expectations of feuds being made between certain guys and overall outcome?
Yeah, there's a couple of things to talk about there. It's almost becoming a yearly tradition that the Logan Paul WrestleMania match gets set up at Elimination Chamber with him screwing somebody over. He screwed over Seth Rollins in 2023. That was his Mania match. Screwed over Randy Orton. That was part of his Mania match. So there's going to be something with Logan Paul, I would imagine, that sets up his WrestleMania feud, whatever that ends up being. When I look at the field, it's interesting because the second that Jay picked Luther, a bunch of those guys went out the window as like realistic options. Damian Priest, Logan Paul, out the window. You're not winning this. No chance in hell. I don't even think Seth Rollins is in the running to win this. If Gunther was a prize, then maybe, but not Cody Rhodes. I don't think it makes sense to go down that path again. It's CM Punk or John Cena. Like that's the play. Maybe Drew McIntyre. Maybe that to me is like a distant third behind John Cena and CM Punk. Is it star-studded? Yes, but it's not star-studded in the sense that I feel that like everyone is a strong contender in the way that it was star-studded going into the Rumble, where I thought like 7 people could win that damn thing.
Yeah, and then it ended up being the person you probably didn't think, Jay. You should have been 8 people you thought could have won that. No, this does feel like, okay, there's legitimately 2 serious competitors in CM Punk and John Cena being those WrestleMania names. But I almost feel the same way for the women's Elimination Chamber match, which we'll get to in just a second. I think my hopes here are, okay, so let's say, oh God, okay, so let's say we do, because Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, like they're starting a whole bit. So that's looking like that's going to be that one puzzle piece in terms of storytelling in the Elimination Chamber. That's one there. And then it almost feels like, okay, well, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul are kind of left there. with two big giant question marks of what's going to happen there. I'm still expecting Seth Rollins to circle back to all of this crazy drama storytelling that they've been doing with Roman Reigns. So then, oh my God, if this is John Cena winning, then that leaves me with Logan and CM Punk.
You're thinking about it wrong because it's probably going to be Logan versus Cena. That makes way more sense than Logan versus CM Punk, in my opinion. CM Punk doesn't seem like the type of guy that would even entertain the idea of a match with Logan Paul. But John Cena probably would. John Cena seems like the type of guy that would be willing to do that, even though nobody wants to see that. Look, huge John Cena fan. I would love to see John Cena versus Logan Paul at some point. I would have loved to see John Cena versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania, just not his last WrestleMania. I am deeply concerned, Denise. I am deeply concerned that we're going to be getting Logan versus Cena, and that the yearly screw over is going to be Logan screwing over Cena. I am deeply concerned.
I'm deeply concerned that it's Logan Paul versus CM Punk.
I don't see that at all. Even in their promo,
the elimination chamber, the elimination of the Royal Rumble, and then that little confrontation, which I thought they didn't even go in all in with that.
They didn't go in. They didn't go in enough in their confrontation on Raw to make me think, oh, there's something here. It almost felt like, all right, we're moving on from this. All right, you got the glow that you eliminated me. Moving on to bigger things. I'm having a tough time visualizing the idea of Logan versus CM Punk, but unfortunately, Logan versus Cena, it looks crystal clear to me, and I don't like it.
But see, I feel like, look, okay, it's mainstream, all right? That's the big one. It's mainstream. People that don't watch wrestling, they still know who John Cena is, and they know who Logan Paul is, whether or not people care to admit it. And I know that sometimes as wrestling fans, we don't like to give Logan Paul any sort of flowers or recognition when it comes to him being known outside in other realms that are not just pro wrestling. I mean, if I tell my siblings, hey, do you know who Damon Priest is? They're going to be like, no. Tell him. I know people are not going to like me saying this, but if I say, do you know who Seth Rollins is? They're going to say no. If I say, do you know who Logan Paul is? They're going to say yes. And that is the cold, hard truth. And so it does seem like something that could happen, but at the exact same time, don't you think that, like, I feel like Triple H is very in the know of what the fans want. He knows that the fans want to see, at least for the most part, John Cena and Cody Rhodes, and the possibility of John Cena winning that 17th world title.
I know that there was some buzz a couple of days ago about WWE kind of feeling the waters and recognizing that people aren't particularly too hyped over the idea of WWE running Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre again as a program. What if it's Logan versus Drew McIntyre? I mean, like, that'd be entertaining. That's a pretty big, high-profile match for Drew. The promos would be entertaining. I personally would take that a million times over Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. I feel like that leaves us in a win-win scenario for everyone.
And then,
because we already been there because we already been there and done that with McIntyre and Priest, like at WrestleMania and at Clash of Castle. So give Drew McIntyre something different going to WrestleMania. We don't know we don't even know if he even gonna wrestle Priest or not. Logan Paul wouldn't mind, but okay, like, what did Punk do? What did Cena do?
we get to see.
We could see a multi-man match. It may not be a single match. We could see a multi-man match. You know, people could get added, by the way.
Did Drew McIntyre be really mean to Logan Paul?
That'd be so good. It'd be really
That would
entertaining.
be great.
It'd be really entertaining.
You know,
It
we
just
have a lot of
feels,
multi-man matches.
we've used this phrase before. It
WWE
feels
being
like the
lazy
degrees
with
of
WrestleMania by just
separation those
randomly
two
adding
are
people
pretty
and making
far,
multi-man
but the
matches.
chamber
That's
puts
just
them
fucking
together,
lazy.
and
Because
anything
they
is
don't know how to
possible in
book
that
romance.
situation.
I feel bad though for Damian Priest. Like when people were so giddy up on Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, I still feel like there is something there. And I think that both guys sort of have this chip on their shoulder where Damian Priest is a former world heavyweight champion. He's somebody that, he was at the top of the WWE mountain. And then, unfortunately, it didn't last too long in his moment in the sun, faded away. And I'm sure a part of him wants to get some of that notoriety back and keep people on the forefront. Like, hey, I'm the guy who was world heavyweight champion. I mean something in this business. I'm the guy who had the match of a lifetime with Bad Bunny. And then you have Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was constantly being disrespected. I don't think there's anybody that has a bigger chip on their shoulder in WWE right not Drew McIntyre. And I could see Drew McIntyre being like, all right, you're not putting me in these big storylines with guys like John Cena or Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns, and you're putting me in storylines with Damian Priest, who isn't at the very, very top, right? So I can see Drew McIntyre being like, all right, let's tell this hell of a freaking story so that you guys can see that no matter what story I'm in, whether it's with CM Punk or with Damian Priest, I am going to make it count and I'm going to make it the most interesting option. I can't help but be intrigued by your idea of Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. And I see some people in my chat saying, "Oh, but they're on different brands." Who cares? It's Mania. It's Elimination Chamber. Who cares? You can make that happen.
Are we going to start caring about brand supremacy all of a sudden?
Yeah, bro. Brand splits are so 2005.
Bring out the T-shirt. We're going to have to come out. She called me and was like, Denise, South.
I don't know. Toss him in a multi-man ladder match. Have him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't care.
That would be such a fall from heaven.
It'd be a south of heaven. It'd be a south of heaven.
Oh no! Oh, I feel so bad. Oh man! All right. So with that being said, let's keep this moving since we are on the topic of Elimination Chamber. I do want to go ahead and get into the Women's Elimination Chamber because this was probably the biggest part, or one of the newsworthiest parts of Monday Night Raw today. Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez.
And Roseanne Perez. Come on.
Roseanne,
The debut of Roseanne.
Poor Roxanne. It's like this big moment and her name gets called the wrong thing. That would, Santi, like that would suck. Imagine you go out there and you're having a Monday Night Raw match and they're like, hey, Samuel.
They call me Santino.
It'd be kind of messed up. You're like, hey, what the hell? This is my moment, bro, and you're ruining it. All right, so Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez going into this match, Santi, I was kind of scared because I was looking at this and I was going, all right, Raquel Rodriguez, if she gets the win, it's because she's going to be in there helping out Liv Morgan, and that's going to take a big piece of the story. But Roxanne Perez is the girl on fire right now. She is on a roll. She's had this huge accomplishment all throughout, her time in NXT, especially 2024 with the reign of her second reign for NXT Women's Championship of a lifetime, and then going into the Royal Rumble for the third time, making it to the finals with Charlotte, and now it's like, okay, how do you continue that? We all know she's going to the main roster. Why can't she have a boom kind of a moment like Tiffany Stratton or Jade Cargill? Like, that's the kind of run I want to see for Roxanne Perez. A lot of the recent call-ups for the NXT women into the main roster, they haven't gone. Not everybody has had a Tiffany Stratton run, all right? It's been kind of a second there. And so Roxanne Perez, she seems like the person that is going to have that kind of a run, that kind of a start on the main roster. And so I thought, man, they got to have her win this because that's the most exciting option. And that's the one that continues this momentum for Roxanne. And so eventually, we do end up having Bianca Belair go out there. This kind of intertwines to the SmackDown storyline because Bianca and Naomi are under the assumption that Liv Morgan and Raquel are the ones that attacked Jade Cargill. So they go out there during this match. This causes a distraction, allows Roxanne to hit the pop rocks on Raquel and get the win. Santi, how'd you feel about this?
I felt like they, how do I say this? I felt like it was a little bit too telegraphed that Roxanne was going to win, predominantly because I don't think there was much excitement over the idea of Raquel Rodriguez in the Elimination Chamber. If it was a different opponent, I would have been more on the edge of my seat on who was going to win. I think from the beginning I knew that Roxanne was going to win. And I also knew in the back of my head that Bianca and Jade had yet to interfere when they said on Friday Night SmackDown that they were going to go out and confront Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and I think rookie can be damaging to, as the kids say these days, to your aura. Negative aura levels is something that they would say. But losing in the way that she did, a distraction from two main eventers in Naomi and Bianca Belair, does kind of protect that aura of Raquel Rodriguez. But yeah, I mean, it was always going to be Roxanne. I don't think there would have been anybody satisfied if it was Raquel.
I would have been sad if she got screwed out of that moment. I really wanted it to be Roxanne, so I was thrilled when it was. And I feel bad for Raquel, especially because she was gone for such a long time. And I am rooting for Raquel, but this moment just felt like it was Roxanne's moment to run with. So with that being said, we got the Elimination Chamber match. Now Roxanne, Bailey, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair. Do you think that this is similar to the men's elimination chamber in the sense where there's only a couple of real options? Because to me, the real couple options are Bailey, Bianca, and Alexa. Those are the ones that seem like the real options to me.
I think it's just Liv. If I'm being honest with you,
What?
I legit think that in terms of realistic options, we have Liv. Now that Charlotte has picked, I wish Charlotte hadn't picked yet. I really wish. Here's what I envisioned. All right, can I tell you my little headcanon that what I wanted to see?
Please.
When I saw Trish Stratus in the crowd, I was like, okay, this is brilliant. Let's have Trish versus Tiffany at Elimination Chamber and have Tiffany win. And that Tiffany win is what makes Charlotte say, you are worthy of me picking you for WrestleMania. Because we had Charlotte the week prior get on your knees and bark for me to pick you to be my opponent at WrestleMania. Charlotte didn't see that. Didn't see that as a worthy option for her. And then she picks her after a DQ win. It just seemed weird. It didn't seem like it connected, right? But now that Charlotte has picked, and it is Tiffany Stratton, I think it just completely closes down the windows on who's available. Alexa Bliss, I know we talked about brands don't really matter, but her being sent to SmackDown and just having absolutely nothing to do with Rhea Ripley at the moment, it would seem like trying to create something out of nothing in a short amount of time. Bianca and Naomi, I would have thought that Bianca was a strong contender for this, but with the ever looming story of Jade, it doesn't seem like they could bypass that story to get to the dream match with Rhea Ripley in time because it's just too big of a story to just try and toss to the side. And then when I look at Bailey, no way, no shot. Like I just keep coming down. And Roxanne Perez would be a pretty cool option if they decided to pull the trigger on somebody like Roxanne Perez. But the way I see it playing out, it's Liv Morgan winning, Liv Morgan attacking Rhea Ripley during the match against Io Sky to set up a triple threat between those three.
Oh man, see, this stresses me out, Santi, because I can't argue your points here. Because look, I wanted to be Bianca Belair. I really truly wanted to be her.
Too.
But you're right in the sense that that storyline that they're doing with Jade and Naomi, that is a damn big storyline. So it would be, if we do get her and Rhea, this would be something she would be dealing with simultaneously. She would be dealing with this whole thing of who attacked her friend, and I'm also a tag team champion, and I got to honor my responsibilities with that. And then at the same time, all right, I'm still trying to make it as a single star and do that. Those are two totally different stories that you would have to somehow make work. So, oh my God, but I don't want to eliminate Bianca Belair from this scenario because to me, she's the most intriguing option. Alexa Bliss just came back. She just came back, and I feel like I still have to. It could be Alexa, but I don't know if that. She seems like the most open in terms of a possible of it
but
being
even
her. Like, there's space for this to happen.
Yeah, but even she, to a degree, we have to have like blinders on for her because she's got something looming. The return of the Wyatt Six. That's the thing that's being built up for her. Not saying that she can't do that and Rhea Ripley at the same time. I'm just trying to be realistic about what I'm seeing here, and it just seems like Liv Morgan winning and interfering and making it into a triple threat just seems a lot more cut and dry as a likelihood. It's not what I want to see. I'm with you. I feel like the dream match here is Rhea versus Bianca. This doesn't seem like it's the right year for it, seemingly based on the stories that we've got going on and trying to balance.
So why not Bailey? I know Bailey, she was champion last WrestleMania season and didn't really get highlighted as well, but she did have a phenomenal match with Io, and she'd have phenomenal matches with Rhea.
Yeah,
and she's gotten a lot of flowers for all the work she's done recently. She's gotten more attention and notoriety and respect. I feel in like even this the last week alone.
Yeah, I literally cannot argue with you. Those are just facts. I can't argue with you. I think it'd be interesting if Rhea Ripley's sort of notching off every single four horsewoman, right? Because in subsequent manias, it's Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, right? And maybe somewhere down the line we got Mercedes Moné. Somewhere down the line. I just don't want that. I think it's just a. I'm just like I'm
Is
good.
this screaming WrestleMania to you? I
It-
think
it-
it's fun only because I like Bailey so much.
I'd be fine with it if they ran it. I wouldn't complain because like you pointed out everything factually, and I cannot shoot it down. I think it's just like I see that match and it just doesn't seem particularly like too appealing. Then again, Io versus Bailey was one of the best matches of last year's WrestleMania, so why not? But then that kind of leaves Io as odd woman out in all of this. I don't know.
I mean, she is already getting her elimination chamber match, so there's that at least. She'll get that going. So, dang, it just feels like there's just a lot. I guess the options are even slimmer than for the women's elimination chamber. And with that being said, I'm kind of okay. So I'm on the team of Naomi, still the one who secretly attacked Jade. I still haven't dropped that whole thing. I'm hoping that's a story they do tell, and I'm wondering if this is where we start to see Naomi maybe show her true colors. But then again, I have booked. I'm trying to see what I want to see to suit my narrative. And
Our cake and eat it too, where the Mania match isn't Jade versus Bianca. Maybe it's Jade versus Naomi, which opens up Bianca for it to be Bianca versus Rhea. That world exists somewhere in the multiverse. It's out there.
please, I don't know how. I want Bianca versus Rhea. I'm sorry. I don't know how we're gonna get there, but I want to get there, and I hope they figure it out a way. Because other than that, it's not really looking too crazy right at this moment. But there you go. That is where we're at. Either way, Roxanne Perez got a big moment, and I'm so freaking happy for her. When do you think they actually make the announcement that she's officially main roster?
I think they use her for the MST show and Stand and Deliver. I think she's just gonna Braun Breaker this shit, Denise. She's just gonna be on both shows until after WrestleMania.
All right, I'm here with that. I think that would be fun. That's plus they're still she's having fun there on NXT. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into some of these super chats that we have here. Let's see what we got. Let's see. We got Rudio here. What's up, Rudio? He says tonight was officially Monday Night Raw. So happy Roxanne got that final chamber spot and how they're going with the Cinderella story for her. Oh, what do you mean like the Roxanne is Cinderella?
Oh, they grew into wrestling through the
Hear this, but that's his though. Every single time he did this with Drew and CM Punk, he did this with Seth Rollins, he does this with everybody. Where it's a 40-minute explanation as to why this can happen, what the repercussions of this are, and the same thing always happens.
He makes a match anyway.
Exactly, exactly. That's all it is. Every single damn time. So I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to this match, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, is the happy ending, of course, Sami Zayn getting this victory? It has got to be, right?
I think
story.
yeah, I think it depends. Like, is the happy ending gonna happen here? Because we still have so much more with Kevin Owens. Because we have that Randy Orton return looming. I am expecting Randy Orton in this. With it being unsanctioned, anything can happen. So yeah, I guess Sami Zayn winning with the help of Randy Orton, that could be the happy ending to set us up for Kevin versus Randy, and then I guess Sammy versus Karrion Kross or whatever.
I don't even know. I have no idea what's happening there. But yeah, I mean, Randy Orton's been gone for like months now. I've been wondering when they were going to bring him back. I was shocked he wasn't at the Rumble. So I was looking at this going like, okay, well, now I'm assuming they bring him back in this match because if not, I don't know when the next opportunity for Randy Orton to come back in where it would make sense and he could still get some sort of a inkling of revenge on Kevin Owens would be. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into another big loss for the Judgment Day. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this one, Santi. AJ Styles defeating your boy, Dominic Mysterio. And let's be real. There is no way. There's no chance in hell Dominic was going to defeat AJ Styles. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what? Losing to a legend like AJ Styles, there's nothing to scoff at there. Good job, Dominic. We're rooting for you. Everyone across the world has you in our thoughts.
Dominic had been the main roster for 5 years. He's been North American champion. He's been tag team champion. What did Dominic do in WrestleMania? Is he gonna have a match at WrestleMania? Now, since you're a big about Braun Breaker, don't tell me you can go after Braun Breaker title. We don't know what Braun Breaker's doing. If you're gonna face AJ Styles, don't tell me you're gonna face Dominic. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't know what they're doing with Dominic at WrestleMania. Usually he's always involved, and usually Dominic is always involved at WrestleMania with his father. I know it was WrestleMania 38 they teamed up together, and in WrestleMania 39 they faced off, and then they faced off again, but that was a tag team match. So what is Dominic doing now? Rey Mysterio is still feuding with the New Day, so maybe we'll see Dominic and Braun Breaker and AJ Styles. We could get a multi-man match. We don't know. Because Braun Breaker's not wrestling Sheamus.
After that spear, which by the
Oh
way,
my god, yes.
somebody please get the license plate of that friggin' truck that hit Dominic Mysterio. Good job.
That was epic, man. Dude, I was dying at AJ Styles' reflexes because first he moves out of the way, right, for the spear. Dominic takes it, great. And then Braun Breaker is freaking pissed, right? And he throws this freaking t-shirt into AJ, like throws it at AJ. And AJ catches it all perfectly.
Smooth. Oh, what a smooth criminal that was. That was so good.
I'm impressed by AJ's skills on that. With that being said, AJ Styles, Braun Breaker, they had the tease last week with that simple, no words were really said confrontation. But now we got this. We got Braun Breaker seeking out AJ Styles, and I couldn't be more excited about any other match that isn't, your John Cena's, your Cody Rhodes, your CM Punk's, those top people. When we talk about other people on this card, it's Braun Breaker, AJ Styles. Like, I cannot wait to see AJ Styles bump like crazy for Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker hitting that freaking insane spear. And then I also have another question for you. But first and foremost, how are you feeling about this Braun Breaker, AJ Styles incoming feud?
Love it so much that I want it at WrestleMania. Those are my words. That is my poem. But knowing Monday Night Raw, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker officially the Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. It's like, why are you giving these championship matches on random Raws? Mania. This is to me the best match available for AJ Styles in terms of like what AJ Styles, the different divisions that he can be a part of. This is the best thing available for him because the main event that's out of reach for him at the moment. He came back too late. Just doesn't make sense. Braun Breaker and the IC title. That's the best play for him. And this is far and away the best opponent for Braun Breaker specifically. AJ Styles is going to make Braun Breaker look like $1 million. AJ Styles it will make this match for Braun Breaker win-win, regardless of whether Braun Breaker wins or loses. Because losing to AJ Styles is fine, and I think people would be okay with it.
I want him to beat AJ Styles.
I want him to beat AJ Styles too, but like if you were to lose to AJ, it's not like all of a sudden I'm gonna be like, oh, they're burying my boy Braun. No, what are they doing? It's like, oh, you lost to AJ freaking Styles. That's fine.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay, so my question to you was one of the topics that I brought up during the watch along was best spear right now in pro wrestling. I know the most famous spears right now in pro wrestling is Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker. So those are my two top ones. Which one is better and why is it Braun Breaker? Sorry, I'm already going with Braun.
I would say it's probably Jey Uso's, if I'm being honest with you.
Stop it. No, you're not. What the?
I was about to.
With a dead serious face, I was like, there's no way. He's trolling me.
I was about to give an Oscar-winning performance to save my life, but then you called it out too quick. With astigmatism, which means I can't see very well, so it makes sense for me to think that Jey Uso's bum-ass spear that looks like he's just hugging a little pillow. And
here, I can't be sold on it. Like, even Roman Reigns love his spear, but damn, bro. Braun Breaker is just splitting people in freaking half, man.
Speed. Ass guy shows speed.
Dude, oh my god, it's so funny. Like, I've seen the video now 100 times, and even when they show the replay, even today when he did the little thing where he was talking about it on stream, I still watched it. Even if I've seen it 100 times, I'll watch it again.
It's one of my favorite clips of the year. It's so freaking funny.
I have so much more. Like, I didn't know who he was, Santi. I mean, I was just like out of the loop with that, and now I'm just like, dude, I see you, I know you now, and I respect you for that because. Let's be real. Not very many few of us would sign up to get a
from Bronson Reed it there.
Yes.
I'm good. I'll pass.
I would like die. I don't even think I would survive a freaking tsunami splash from top. Like I think my heart would stop. And then
I
the
have a
tsunami.
yeah. For me, I think it'd be worse for me. I have a hairy chest, so the chop plus the removal of the hand would just be like getting a wax.
You'd be like, what's his face in the 40-year-old version?
Oh yeah. Oh, Kelly Clarkson.
April instead of March. That is true. That's actually Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Or Roman Reigns. Spotlighted so strong as in women's intercontinental champion. I mean, you kind of forgot she was champion until she displayed the love. I almost want Gunther to do this every week up until their match and just talk all this shit to people.
I thought it was so good. This is the confident shit-eating grin Gunther that I love, that I fell in love with. This is the Gunther that I want. I like the brawl. That was fine. The only thing I would have liked to change is I would have liked Pat McAfee and or Michael Cole with a straight face to be a little bit more serious in that segment and say, no, I don't think Jay's a big deal. Because then there was a promo backstage where then Jay's like, no one believes in me. Everyone thinks that I'm going to lose. It would have connected really well. And I feel like it would have told a better what I would have liked. I thought that was a missed opportunity.
You know, the roster doesn't believe, nobody in the roster, nobody else really believes that you can do this. And he's like very serious and he kind of got like emotional eyes talking about how everyone keeps denying my abilities. I won the Royal Rumble and I'm going to prove to everybody that I'm going to win at WrestleMania. And I mean, look, great. Pat McAfee believes in him. Pat McAfee's hoping for him to win. So he's got one person rooting for him. So yeah, I do think that those tweaks, you're right, could have made a little bit for a stronger case there. We got Jacob Tatum here who says, these guys have faced each other. Pete Dunne was Penta's second opponent in his second match on Monday Night Raw. And they once again go out there, they do the thing. Penta gets the victory. Do you feel like this is a little bit of a slow start to Penta's run, or do you feel like what they've been doing with him, the matches that they've been booking with him, have felt like enough in terms of to equal the amount of buzz that Penta has gotten when he first came into the company?
I definitely liked the buzz he was getting a lot more when he was just getting like one-off matches with no storyline to them. Banger with Pete Dunne, banger with Ludwig Kaiser, banger with of course Jack Gable at the start. I think things are slowing down, not because of Penta, but I just don't know that they know what they're doing with this storyline. I'm having a tough time seeing past the 2 feet in front of me with what it is that they're trying to do with Penta, Ludwig Kaiser, and Pete Dunne. Like, what's the storyline there? What does that three-way dance look like? Are we looking at a triple threat here? A triple threat for what? Who's the good guy? Obviously the good guy is Penta, but who's the bad guy that Penta's actually feuding with? Is it Pete Dunne? Is it Ludwig Kaiser? So it feels like a little bit convoluted in terms of what they're doing with Penta from a storyline perspective, but at least they're trying something from a storyline perspective. I can appreciate that there's an attempt there. I just don't know that the attempt is landing as well as the matches are, because I think the matches are good, but the storyline I feel like is leaving a little bit to be desired.
Right, because I look at this and say, okay, Denise, explain the storyline to me. My understanding is Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Dunne both want to be the first guy to defeat Penta, and it's not happening.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Well, then that's between them, right? That's not like, I mean, it involves Penta, but he's not really like.
There isn't anything that he has to really sink. He doesn't have to put his roots into this.
That he's been on. He had a really good promo later on in the evening where he was talking about how this is the year of Ludwig Kaiser. He's been saying that a whole lot.
Commercial.
Actually, right, true. But we still need to see that sort of come to fruition. I think he's a guy with a lot of potential right now, but we're waiting to see, okay, when is that star-making moment for him? He hasn't had that star-making. Unfortunately, not there yet because they never really worked on him building his star power. So it's got to be someone with a little bit more of a star power, so that we could be like, all right, this is exciting. Like, this is the first feud for Penta. Because as of right now, they're giving everything else right with Penta. They're building up this great entrance for him. They are, making sure to promote him so much through vignettes, through photo shoots, through gear, all of that, really making him feel like a big deal on Monday Night Raw. So now, when you got someone who's a big deal, you got to put him in there with somebody else who's also a big deal. Because if not, then
If
you're just
win a
out there hanging out to
championship
dry.
before you win
I
the
think the
title
answer
for
is
my team.
Chad again, but in a proper
If
storyline
you win the title,
as opposed to just a one-off match.
after
We'll see though.
everything we been through,
And
for
the story
5
doesn't
years,
interest
we
me. I
told
just like
this
seeing
story.
Penta out there
5
every
years
week.
we told.
I'm happy
Right,
about
right.
that at least.
Yeah, that's how I
After
feel.
everything we've been
Alrighty, with that being said, let me go ahead and get into here's the thing. This is the last thing we gotta cover, and this is the New Day. This was probably my least favorite segment of the entire night. They just went out there. They didn't say anything new other than Kofi Kingston was putting himself over Rey Mysterio and saying that he should be the locker room leader. And this led to the LWO Dragon League, Joaquin Wild, and Cruz El Toro coming out and basically standing up for their friend Rey Mysterio and running after them, and that was it. Like this was a long promo from the New Day that went really nowhere.
Nowhere.
And then
You're right.
no one cares. I hate to say this, but no one cares about the LWO when Rey Mysterio isn't there. And that's not their fault. They were treated like jobbers for most of the time.
That's true, and that's coming from two Latinos here. Like this Latino order is more over than that Latino world order.
Let's
If I'm
go.
being
We're
honest
gonna get
with you.
LWO shirts.
What, I'm pretty sure that was like a long hiatus return from Del Toro and Joaquin Wild. It's just like no one cares.
I
Like,
didn't even notice. What do you
yeah,
mean? Were they
they've been
gone?
gone for they've been gone for like months.
No, they have not.
Literal months, Denise. Literal months
I
we
haven't
have not
seen them.
seen them. Literal months we've not seen them. And that was a big triumphant return. But who cares? Like this faction is so DOA. It's not doing anything for anybody. And look, the New Day still has momentum, but getting chased off by Cruz Del Toro and Walking Wild is not a good look. It's
Exactly.
just not.
Exactly. Just lame. Something I really think with this New Day heel turn, I'm hoping this is all leaving for them to win the tag team titles. I don't think we saw the Viking with it tonight, and if we did, it wasn't in the ring. It might have been backstage. So, can we take the belt off the Viking with it, give it to the New Day, and build up New Day correctly?
It's not. I mean, they need to speed this up. They need to get them out of this whole thing with the LWO. They need to get the New Day going in a different freaking direction because this does not. Santi, our first show that we ever did together was when they turned on Biggie.
Yeah.
And that was like massive, man.
One of
This
the
is what
best moments of
everybody was
2024.
Exactly. Everybody was talking about it. It felt like one of those peak WWE moments that you're going to go back and, rewatch when you're on YouTube in several years from now, going down a rabbit hole of wrestling memories. And what came of that? Nothing.
So far, nothing. So far, absolutely jack shit. Like nothing.
And I'm like, okay, I thought they would have been tag team champions right now. I thought they would have been, hell, I would have even brought Biggie back for some more backstage segments. Why the hell not? Why did we just only have to see them that one time? You're telling me you can bring Biggie back and they can have some more moments either in the ring or backstage, anything. Because that was the thing people were interested in. I don't see why we just couldn't see Biggie at all in this.
They did not capitalize on this at all. They had one of the coolest moments from the tag team division that I've seen in years, and it was so good, and they've done absolutely nothing with it. And it's a shame. Like they should be in the tag team title picture. Like they should be doing way more than just being.
Exactly. Both them line as heels. I actually want them to win the tag team titles. I'm more interested in what they do as heels at tag team champions. I hope that the wrestling, hopefully we go into WrestleMania, they actually take the titles off the War Waiter because I don't think the War Waiter will do anything for me as tag team champions. So I give it to the New Day. They have character. They're actually great on the mic. The War Waiter's a lot. So I'm hoping we go through that. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we still got March. We got the middle of April. Give them tag team titles and let them run with it. And then hopefully we can see Biggie on TV. Maybe I don't know when Biggie's gonna come back. It might take a while.
told New Day sucks.
Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you guys on.
Alright. What was that?
They need to be on TV to build their matches. They need to be on TV. I don't expect Roman Reigns to wrestle or John Cena to wrestle, but at least be on the show. Cut promos. Go face to face with whoever your opponent is going to be. Let the stories play out. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm going to start to really take issue with the build to this show. But I think we're going to start to get that coming out of the chamber. And right now, it just feels like they're kind of on autopilot until we get there in 2 weeks. Let's take a look at the Twitter poll. What did you think about Raw on Netflix? They were in Charlotte, North Carolina. 77% thumbs up for tonight's show, 23% thumbs down, with 900 votes in and counting. That is
1, 2, 3, and that was it. They were big into Penta here. They did the Zero Miedo. They're big into Penta. Don't know where we're going with Pete Dunne, but him and Kaiser do not like each other right now. And it looks like Penta is going to continue racking up wins. Like I said, I could see him in a multi-person match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. There really is no clear direction for Penta going into WrestleMania, and you know he's going to be at WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens there. Kaiser attacked Penta after the match.
Alright, now let's get into this show. Here's the full highlight to Monday Night Raw. Elimination Chamber, Saturday, March 1st. We gotta wait 2 weeks. It'll be next week. Now this is what we got on Monday Night Raw. Now these were the highlight. These were the important parts of the show. Sami Zayn challenging Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match at the Elimination Chamber. We'll see who wins that match. We'll see Randy Orton. Maybe he might continue going into WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see. Or maybe just the one-off, so we have a stipulation. I don't know. They could do a screwy finish that continue to feud going into WrestleMania. Okay, what did Sammy do? What did Kevin Owens do WrestleMania then? Also, Braun Breaker and AJ Styles. Since Braun Breaker speared Dominic by accident, Dominic might get involved. And I think Dominic will be at WrestleMania. I think he has to be. He was at it the last 3 years. He could get involved here. We might get a triple threat match. We could. I don't know what Dominic does at WrestleMania. Dakota Kai wins the right to challenge Lyra for the Women's IC title. We'll see who wins that. Is that gonna be at the Chamber? Or is that gonna be next week? It might be, I don't know. Lyra has to defend the title. We'll see who wins that match. Even though there's no heat and it's a dead feud pretty much. The best thing I enjoyed was Gunther and Jey Uso and this great brawl that they had. It was so chaotic. It was awesome. The build had been very good. Gunther and Jey Uso it's been okay build, but again, we still got like 2 months. We got like another month to build to this. Penta had a great match. He keeps racking up wins. Penta beat Pete Dunne with the use of Ludwig into Austin. They could be setting up Ludwig and Penta. Probably next week. I think they'll get that match next week. Penta just racking up wins. He's in the winning column. He's been in the main roster for like a month. We'll see where he goes. I'm sure he'll be at WrestleMania. Or maybe he won't be. We just won't know. He could be in the multi-man match at WrestleMania. Was Emperor qualified for the chamber thanks to Bianca and Naomi? She's now the final woman to be in the women's chamber. She beat Raquel. And we got the LWO sent the New Day won with painful payback. We got Seth Rollins qualified for the chamber.
wow. You like it? Hey Meta, remind me where I parked.
one-line wireless plans without hidden fees and.
What do you want me to do, Sammy?
Wait, hold on. Alright, now I can talk about NFT Vengeance Day. Now, this was Saturday. This was on Saturday. I'm gonna show y'all what happened on this pay-per-view. NFT Vengeance Day 2025. These are the highlights. It was a very good show. It was very decent. A lot of highlights. The matches were fine. We had Cora Jade, Watson Barrett, Gula, and Bailey. They said that Stephanie won the title. And after that, Jordan Gray came out calling for Gula and Stephanie Valde. Stephanie, the Women's North American title. Gula, the Women's title. The NXT Women's title. Jordan Grace, she signed with the company. We saw her in the Rumble last month. She signed with the company. People were interested. People are now invested. See someone new on the NXT roster. Santino Marella and Andrea agreed to discuss business with Ava Wayne. It's been years since we've seen Santino in WWE, but he was here on NXT. We had Oberfire versus Grayson Waller versus Austin Theory in a very good match. It was a triple threat match. It was very good. Oba retained the NXT title. He was very dominant. After he won the match, a mysterious group leaves Oba down and out. It kind of brings me flashbacks and horror to Retribution. They kind of look like Retribution. They came out the light went out. They were all black. They wore black masks. I hope this is not a Retribution group, because we all know how that was 5 years ago. We actually saw them here, and then we saw them earlier in the show. They attacked Alchemanism and Josh Briz. After they had a very good match here with Fatum versus Josh Briz, and you'll see. Stephanie Vergara wins the NXT North American title with a very good match, a very good opener. We had Trick Williams versus Eddie Toth. Eddie Toth went over. He beat Trick Williams in his strap match. They are pushing Eddie Toth to go after the NXT title pretty soon. We had Javon Evans versus Ethan Page in an okay match. NXT was a very good show. There were 5 matches. No, I think 6 matches, I think. Were there? Because there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there was 6 matches on the show. And it was very good. That was on SmackDown. I already showed that. Yeah, Jimmy Superkick Drew McIntyre. This is NXT. Very good show. NXT was very good. Here are the news and rumors. Tony Khan releases 3 AEW stars. Ricky Starks, Miro, Malachi Black. Fans are concerned with Mania Bill being lackluster. Here are the news and rumors. CM Punk to get on the best in WrestleMania main event. Punk and Cena may get the WrestleMania 41 main event. We'll have to wait and see. Caught another lie down under AEW. Could Ray Phoenix be finally a free man? To Tony Khan grant Ray Phoenix AEW release. Might not have enough time in this video, so might will just end the video. I'll be back with more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. I will see y'all later. Until next time.
You're a network defender. The Elimination Chamber match faces
just further disrespected the New Day, but they did show the attack. Woods wished him well. Mysterio. Crowd booed them. The Heat's great. Woods told North Carolina to shut up. He couldn't believe the fans were mad about what they said to their own friend Big E when they told
Yeah, I'm gonna end the video.